it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hey everyone, I'm Dr. Angelica here with Ask the Expert. We have Jessica Musa,
Yes.
and she will be talking about virtual productivity. And she is the new entrepreneur coach and founder of Virtually Productive. She began her entrepreneurial journey with Virtually Productive, a virtual business support service firm. Her clients outsource all of their business needs so that they can focus on growing their business and serving their clients. So, Jessica, thank you. And I'm just going to allow you an opportunity to kind of share like what is virtual productivity and why would new entrepreneurs really benefit from this?
Sure. Well, first, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. So, like you said, I own Virtually Productive, which is an outsourcing business, and then a Newpreneur business coach. So, especially in the changing times, productivity is super important. And many entrepreneurs, especially the ones that have never worked in a virtual environment, they don't know about automation, the tools that are even available to make life easier, and they don't know how to even implement it. It's super confusing, even for someone who is tech savvy. So, being that I've been in the virtual support business services firm for so long, it's second nature to me. So now is the time that everyone needs it because time is our most valuable asset and we can never buy it back.
Right. And the thing is that right now we're going through major changes in the world, like because we have so much uncertainty, and I'm connecting with leaders like you that provide that out of the box thinking, So virtual productivity is going to be major. So can you explain a little more, like how would a newpreneur would benefit specifically, like if you have maybe 2 or 3 steps that you can share?
Okay. So in my virtual workshops, they were virtual before all this happened. I teach entrepreneurs how to automate. So for example, let's say you have a newsletter or a workshop you have, and people sign up. Well, you can automate for the individuals that sign up for your course to receive a welcome email, and then for a week later to receive a follow-up. Do you have any questions? Then maybe a week after that or 2 days before the course, receive another email, and all this is automated. You don't have to think about it. Saying, oh, do you have any questions, or as a reminder email. All of it's automated.
Right. Beautiful. Thank you. They're saying that super beautiful and successful people here bless Jessica. So they're sending blessings to you and blessings to me too. Hey, thank you so much. And if you have any questions when you're listening to our conversation, because it is Ask the Expert. So she's here. If you're live with us, or later on, if this is a replay, we want you to come back and ask questions. So you talk about outsourcing. Why is outsourcing so important, especially if you're a newpreneur? If you're a new person or new entrepreneur starting a business, why would outsourcing be important?
So many entrepreneurs, especially in the early phase of their journey, they try to do everything. And they try to do everything for many reasons. They want to save money. They want to learn how to do everything themselves. But in essence, let's say it takes this new entrepreneur 2 hours to make a flyer or a newsletter or whatever the case is. You could pay someone to do it in 30 minutes or an hour. It's not even about the money. Those 2 hours that entrepreneur just spent attempting to make the newsletter, they could have spent in sales, revenue generating activities instead of admin tasks. And it takes them 2 or 3 times as long because they're not used to doing it.
And then the quality, Jessica, sometimes it's a lot better, because I had some workbooks that I created, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to outsource, and I sent it out to some people. When the work came back, it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, like I wanted to just hide mine, right? So
entrepreneurs don't know what they can outsource.
Exactly. People don't know. So what are some of the things that people can outsource? Like I know that images, graphs, what else can they outsource?
They can outsource their scheduling, their, wow. I mean, basically our bookkeeping. For example, now with the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program that's rolling out, people are starting to get funding. Well, in a few months, you're going to have to show proof of where you spent all that money. So
Yeah.
it's a perfect time to start outsourcing a bookkeeper now instead of rushing and losing your mind when the government comes back and wants the proof.
Right.
So bookkeeping is important. It's going to be even more so important with the funds that are coming through right now. Website creation, research, even if you're hiring people, we could do the first round of interviews, post the jobs, anything that the owner himself or herself does not have to do, we can do.
Now, Jessica, there's a question. For those of you that are watching right now, or it's a replay, you can click on the StreamYard so that we can see your name. We would love to see who's making comments while we're going live. And the question is, Jessica, it's what do you think is the hardest but most reliable way to boost right now?
I'm not sure I understand boost what possible.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you can explain it a little more, but what I'm thinking, I'm just gonna guess here what you're asking. My guess would be is how can somebody boost their business, I guess, under these circumstances, and then with your virtual productivity offer or what you do.
Okay. Personally, to boost your business, all entrepreneurs and all business coaches have coaches. They all do. They all. So for example, I've had in the last year a mindset coach, a public relations coach, a business coach, every possible coach you can imagine. Some are great, some aren't so great. Some have great content, and then the rest of the hours is just a lot of fluff, and they charge a lot of money. So I've basically created a virtual workshop half day where it condenses all the great things I've learned and the tens and thousands of dollars I've spent into straight to the point. This is what you need, not this extra fluff. And you'll notice a lot of business coaches and different types of coaches, they'll say, oh, if you work with me, you'll double your revenue in 6 months. No one can promise you anything. They should not promise you anything. That right there is a red flag. Let's see if they wrote.
Yeah, I think they put prosper, and then the other person wrote for a newpreneur with all this current situations, Okay. So I guess how would they boost their business?
I would say we have to be very flexible right now and pivot with the times. And that's, a big term everyone's using is pivot, but we have to be super flexible. For example, we did virtual bookkeeping, but now we're going to have to change it a little bit to be specific with the PPP loans and how so we have to figure out what your clients' pain points are. Clients are more likely to work so pain points and pleasure points. You want to tell people if they don't do this, they'll suffer like this, or if they do this, they'll get this pleasure. But people are more attracted staying away from pain points. So you have to make them understand if you don't use whatever service or product, this is what will happen. Because people want to stay away from the pain, whatever you solve for them. So and you have to tweak things to the situation.
And I think a lot of times as a newpreneur, a new business person that's starting either a new idea or just starting their business from scratch, I think that they don't know specific steps that need to be taken. They don't know how to do certain things. And I think that a coach is really vital, especially an accountable coach. Somebody's going to hold them accountable for certain implementations, because it's not just about learning. There's a lot of courses out there and they're teaching you, like you said, there's a lot of content, but it's overflow of information. But how about if they find a coach that gives them that step step-by-step implementation. Like, what would you say about that?
I think that is so important because you can have as many coaches as you want, like you said, and you can learn a wealth of information. But if you don't know how to implement it or you don't implement it, you just wasted your money.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, any coach, you get homework and tons of things to do, and you probably don't get around to doing it because it's so time consuming. And if it's technical, it can be super confusing. So things like that, I would outsource.
Absolutely.
Like,
So,
is very confusing. If someone's not tech savvy, and then you end up spending more money because then you have to upgrade from one plan to the other because you want to send emails when really you can automate it through a different program instead of upgrading, and it's free. So there's a lot of, you actually save money learning other ways of automating things.
Exactly. And one of the things that I tell people, or entrepreneurs, it's like to make money fast and during these times, it's really adding a lot of value to people, showing people that you truly care, that you're really there for them, and creating a community where you're adding that value. And then, while this whole time kind of passes, they can begin to do some offers. What's your take? I mean, how do you see giving value to people?
I feel like, especially right now, we all need each other, and this is the time to give lots of free content and valuable information and build a relationship with people. That way, when the economy's better and people are more willing to spend money, they trust you, they know you, they recognize you, and they're going to reach out. Or even if they can't afford to, they may know someone that can.
Exactly.
So if you build a relationship with someone, like me and someone else can offer you the same thing, exact same thing, and you're going to go with whoever you like better. Even if one's a little bit more expensive, you're like, oh, I trust her. Oh, I connected with her. Or she got me. She knows. She's been there. So it's all about connecting with the person, even if that means you're giving free content and information away.
Right. And I think that when people see that you really care and that you're adding value, later on, they want to go deeper with you, right? They want to, because they've experienced what you have to give them. And if they see results, even if it's like a little tiny step that you give them and they go and implement it, and then they come back and they're going to want more from you. So tell us, like, what do you have that people would benefit from in connecting with you and after this whole Ask the Expert interview?
So it's also a great way to capture leads when you give free content, free gifts, free guides, free worksheets, whatever it is. You always want to have an opt-in where the people have to give you their email address. That way now you have a database of potential clients for later down the road. So like right now I have I think it's 20 tips to keep your social media feed fresh. And it's a very extensive guide. It's not just like a little worksheet, it's multiple pages. And I mean, it's completely free. And I have a 5-day mindset challenge. All those are completely free. I'm also going to do like a 1-hour workshop of how to build your dream client avatar, because that's super important. That will be free as well.
That's really good. Yeah.
Always give before you want anything back. Always.
Exactly. So those of you that are watching, I mean, she has some really good suggestions on creating your avatar, on outsourcing, and really providing a lot of value to your clients, especially if you are so new into the entrepreneur arena. I think Jessica has a lot to offer. And if you have any other questions and you're watching, this is an opportunity because I interview people and they're experts in a certain field. And in this case, we have Jessica, who really helps new entrepreneurs, begin their business, and not only start a business, but actually begin to have success and have that sense of feeling that they're moving towards something, right, Jessica? Because a lot of people start businesses, and if they don't start making money or sales now, they tend to give up. So what would you recommend?
So that the very first thing I touch on my workshop is the mindset, because you need that first.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to be an entrepreneur. It takes a long time to make money. You cannot give up. You just can't. If giving up and failing is an option, you will fail. You have to put yourself in the mindset that you cannot fail. It's like a perfect example is a child when they're starting to learn. If they quit after falling a few times, none of us would walk. None of us.
Right.
But kids, they get right back up and keep trying. That's just the mindset you have to have. Failure is not an option. You are all in or you're not in at all.
Absolutely. And you know what? Even Anthony Robbins talks about what is success, you know? So as a new entrepreneur, you have to ask yourself, what is success? What's your big why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Because a lot of businesses fail, Jessica, and I think you could agree, because they don't follow that big why, their big passion. And when they don't make money or something doesn't turn out the way they wanted immediately, then they lose their passion, not their passion, because the passion is there, but they lose the inspiration and the momentum and it stops. So what would you recommend to someone who, how would they find that big why? I mean, what are some of the activities that you would give them?
I would say your big why should be, let's say you didn't work for money. You were completely rich. You worked because you enjoyed something. What is that something? What drives you to that? And I think as an entrepreneur, we're super hard on ourselves because the people around us have expectations. So we have to learn to quiet those voices around us, set boundaries, and not be so hard on ourselves. For me, success is being better than I was the day before.
Right.
It can't be, oh, I want to make $1 million my first year. Well, that's not realistic. For some it is, but realistically, not so much. So we're super hard on ourselves. We just have to be better than we were the day before, a week before. That's progression.
Absolutely. There's a question. It says, most people want to grow or boost fast, but all the most valuable things have a cost. Maybe time, maybe investment, but everything you sow, you get it back. So it's more of a statement. So what would you add to this?
So I agree. Everything in business you pay for. You pay for in your time or you pay for with your money. So it's a matter of, do you want to get there faster and put some money out, or do you want to take your time and get there to the same end result?
And you know, one of the things that's happening right now, because we're all in quarantine, so I think that a lot of us, what we do have is a lot of time in our hands. I mean, I know I'm very busy, but a lot of people do have a lot of time, and I think that they should use this time wisely if they are creating a business, to really outline it, to really plan it, to really take the time to develop the business that they love and that they want. What would you say?
Absolutely. We've never had time like this on our hands, and hopefully we won't ever again. Hopefully. This is the time to learn everything you can. So many people are doing free workshops and access to people virtually that normally you would have to physically go to these events to network, and you can do all of this online. So we're actually have so much access to people that we normally don't have. So you have to take advantage of that and definitely sit back and reassess your life and what you want out of a business.
Absolutely.
Is it money driven? Is it because you're serving a certain group? Like, what is it? Again, what your why is. You want to go into that business. And also right now, with so many people online and at home, you have a captive audience all day, practically 7 days a week. This is the time to put yourself out there and become known.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to invite you to do is connect with Jessica, and she will provide you some links so that you can really connect with her. Where are some places where they can find you in social media?
So I'm everywhere. The easiest way to connect with me is if you go to jessica360.com. All my links to my websites, to all my social media, everything's there. That's like my little portal. my WhatsApp. I mean, everything possible to connect with me is at jessica360.com. And you will also see there a link to my free gift, which is the guide for 20 tips for your social media. And there I also have my next virtual workshop. And for the listeners today, I created a coupon discount code for 50% off if you use the discount code virtual.
Okay. Okay. So if you have any questions and you really want to connect with Jessica, you can connect on her website called Jessica360. She'll put the link below so that you can connect with her. And also, if you are, you're jumping on the call right now and you want to ask any questions, go ahead and place a question here. Even after the interview, we'll come back and look at some questions that you might have for Jessica. And her topic is virtual productivity. Basically, how can you outsource? How can you add value? As a new entrepreneur, I mean, there's certain questions that you have to ask, and Jessica is the expert in that field. So connect with her. And then I'm Dr. Angelica Underwood, and I have 2 amazing groups that you want to follow me. And I have the Empresarios Latinx. If you are Latino, speak Spanish, and you want to really connect with entrepreneurs, that would be the group for you. And if you love manifesting and you're into the world of I can achieve anything, then you need to connect with me in the Master Manifest Lab, where we turn our dreams into reality. And I'm also everywhere with Angelica or Angelica Underwear. I think where that came from. my kids always tease me. Oh my God. Okay, I had to laugh. I've been working all day long. Underwood. Sorry. And you can reach me, and yeah, it's funny. We all make mistakes once in a while, but it's okay. The beauty about being an entrepreneur is making the mistakes and then tweaking them and keep going no matter what happens. As a new entrepreneur, you will hit a lot of obstacles, a lot of bumps in the road. And even with experience, you'll create mistakes like I did. But it doesn't matter. What matters is, are you going to fail? And are you going to say, this is it? Or are you going to continue and keep moving forward no matter what happens, right? So, Jessica, how would you like to end it? Would you like to give any messages out there?
Like I said before, just keep going, never give up, and set boundaries with the people around you, because sometimes they bring us down in the entrepreneur world, or they don't believe in us. So always surround yourself with like-minded individuals, whether it's online, a networking group, a Facebook group. You want to be around others that have been in your shoes and can help you.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Jessica. And then if you could come back and we can look at any questions that people post, or if you can place your link below, we would really like that and appreciate it. Again, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, I invite you to come and listen to Ask the Expert, and I will be interviewing amazing entrepreneurs that have answers just for you. So thank you again, and I will see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. Central.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.